Trick-or-treating may look different this year, similar to last year, given that the COVID-19 pandemic is still going on, but it's really up to each person to decide their comfort with differing levels of risk. As we know, COVID-19 is primarily transmitted person to person, and so with trick-or-treating, that comes with gathering around in the streets and going up to houses, and so that's what I see as the highest level of risk. If you're immunocompromised, you may want to consider leaving candy out in a bowl so that you're not coming into close contact with a lot of people, but it really depends on people's comfort with risk. When thinking about taking treats home and whether you need to wipe down the packaging, the risk of COVID is primarily transmitted from person to person, and so the level of risk of transmitting from the package to a person is low. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend wiping down the packages. Something that you should consider, especially with wiping down packages, is that that could potentially introduce a chemical hazard, and so kids are especially sensitive to that. With packaged candy, when you're thinking about how long it stays good, that really goes back to the quality of the product. You're not really concerned so much about the safety because it is such a high sugar content and it's packaged. So with something like that, you're more relying on quality, so you don't need to worry about the safety of it. Trick or treats that might not be safe to eat, I always remind people to make sure that you're looking at each piece of candy to make sure that the packaging hasn't been tampered with. That's the big one. When thinking about homemade treats, we usually see those as pretty low risk as long as they're fully baked and that they're not like a cream-filled product, thinking about something like brownies or cookies. Something else to keep in mind is allergens. So if you're taking a child trick-or-treating who has allergens, make sure that you're clearly looking at the labels. I would just remind people to wash their hands frequently throughout the evening and especially before enjoying any of the candy.